And understand that, just simply making a decision that this is your industry, that this is what you do, regardless of the pains and the pleasures. This is what you do. You will show up on a consistent basis. You will get more of that outcome. But again, if you question yourself every step of the way just because you got a little disappointed, a deal fell through, then you're going to realize more of those pains. Good morning. Welcome to another episode of Mindset Mastery. If you're on with me, please check in. Good morning, Rudy. What's going on? Claudia, good morning. Adriana, good morning. Good to see you on this. Marissa, what's going on? Michelle, good morning. Good morning. Mindset Mastery. So this week, this Friday, I'm actually celebrating my 16-year anniversary with Carla. Now, we met when we were 20 years old, which means we've been together, what is that, 21 years? Holy cow. 21 years, 16 years married. And I'm going to tell you, I wish I could tell you it's all, just great and perfect. But with anything great, there's going to be challenges in everything we do, right? And one of the biggest things that I realize is that sometimes when we go to a certain level of success, we take certain things for granted. And I was very guilty of that, for many years in my marriage. And, even to this day, I notice what the difference is of being in a successful marriage versus being just in a loveless marriage or just going through the motions. It was a lot of intention, right? A lot of intention in what we do. And this is like a philosophy, and this is a skill set that we must learn in all aspects of our life, being intentional about certain things. But even with Carla today, we don't always get along. We don't. But we know one thing for sure, that we're all in. We're in this place of we've burned the ships. We both said we wanted into this relationship. It's no longer in this place of maybe I want to be married, maybe I don't. And that's where we were at for many years, like both of us. That was the first thing that would come up anytime we would get into a disagreement or an argument. Like the marriage was always an option. It was always up in the air. Hey, we don't have to do this. You can go, I can go. It was always a threat back and forth. So we can never find true happiness or a true commitment in our marriage because we were always in this place of indecision. And this led me to believe, just being just celebrating our 16th anniversary this Friday, led me to start thinking about the principles of success for personal and business. And I think these principles here can be implemented in our personal life, in our business life. And we just have to be aware of what it is that we truly want, right? So principle number 1 is commit to your practice. Don't have one foot in and one foot out. I know sometimes we're going to face these challenges. I know some of you have been in the game 10, 15 years, and a part of us wants to feel entitled, just like I felt entitled in my own marriage. And what ended up happening there was a sense of dissatisfaction, right? Because, it was like, well, I'm going to threaten you with divorce. And in many cases, some of you are like, well, maybe I should just quit. I lost these deals. I'm not generating enough leads. Maybe I should look for a job, or I hate this business. So being in this place of one foot in, one foot out will never give you the full growth that you need, the sense of expansion that you can realize if you don't go all in and say, hey, you know what, that other option, there is no other option. Divorce no longer is on the table for us, right? We both committed that we were going to get into this. We both agreed that we want to be together. So the commitment now is not the indecision. So if you make that type of decision for your business, things start to turn around because now the world knows that you're committed to your craft. But every time you get dissatisfied or disappointed, if the first thing in your mind is like, I hate this business. I don't even know if I want to be in it anymore. I've been in it for too long. Guess what's going to happen? More of that pain and chaos. So for us to be successful, we have to understand that we must burn the ships. We must burn the ships. So we have to commit to our practice and not have one foot in and one foot out. And understand that, just simply making a decision that this is your industry, that this is what you do, regardless of the pains and the pleasures. this is what you do. You will show up on a consistent basis. You will get more of that outcome. But again, if you question yourself every step of the way just because you got a little disappointed, a deal fell through, then you're going to realize more of those pains. So again, principle number 1 is don't have one foot in and one foot out. Commit to your craft. Commit to whatever you're doing. Principle number 2, we all love this one. Do the work. Do the work. It's so simple, right? And I want to tell you something. Like, we always hear this, I love what I do. Love what you do. And I get it. But I don't think a lot of people realize that in loving what we do, there's also a lot of stuff that we don't like. There's a lot of stuff that sucks. This morning I was working out and it sucked lifting that weight. I was exhausted. I didn't want to move forward, but I had a game plan. I had an agenda written on my mirror. This is what you need to do. The work sucks. But if I focus on the end result of how I'm going to feel, right, then it makes the whole process more tolerable. Hey, it doesn't mean that you have to love every step of the way. I want you to focus on the end result. What is it going to do for you, your confidence, your financial situation, for your family? I'm not saying do something that you absolutely hate. If that's the case, then yeah, maybe you need to look at a different industry. But if there are parts of the process that you hate, it doesn't mean that it's the entire process. Focus more on the things that you love. I love the end result. I love what I'm able to create, the lifestyle I'm able to live. So in this place, understand that the work sucks. The work is boring. The work is painful. But recognize that the repetitious boredom pays off. The repetitious boredom pays off. Love what you do, love the results. And guess what? After a while, you'll love exactly what you've created. So just think about that. Open houses are boring. They suck. It's like, what else? How many tiles can you count on the ceiling, right? How many tiles can you count on the floor? How many times can you walk through the house? They suck. But understand there's an end result for that. So do the work and understand that the work sucks. But you got to love the end result. Principle number 3, don't be a secret agent. Don't be a secret agent. Like in this world of technology, in this world of social media, if you're not growing your database on a consistent basis, you're not doing enough. You might be a little shameful of being an agent. And what today's agent requires, the responsibilities that are required from an agent is to be out there on a consistent basis. To not only talk about business, but talk about personal life. As a matter of fact, out of 10 posts, 7 of them should be personal. What you do, what you love doing, who your family is, what's going on in your life, your personality, your extracurricular activities. That's what people want to see. They want to connect with you on a one-on-one basis. But if you're a secret agent, too shameful to putting yourself out there, your successes, it's only going to limit you on how far you actually get. You're always going to struggle with lead generation. You're always going to struggle with creating the lifestyle you truly want. And I've said this before. Part of not being a secret agent is like understanding that you got to be shameless about your self-promotion. You got to have zero shame for loving what you do. Zero shame for putting yourself out there. I have zero shame for loving what I do, and I understand that I can make an impact on other agents' lives. That's what drew you here. I was shameless about my self-promotion. I was shameless about the results that we get here and about the impact we have on others' lives. You understand the impact that you have on your clients' lives, the wealth that they're building, the type of service you can deliver. If you're shameless about your self-promotion, you will help more people. Because guess what? The competition. The competition doesn't care as much as you do. The competition is part-time. The competition just wants a quick dollar. You're in this for the long haul. So it is your responsibility to be out there on a consistent basis, regardless of how you feel you've been out there. Like, even if you feel like they've seen you a number of times, it doesn't matter. Your job is to be shameless about what you do. So don't be a secret agent. Become the authority. What would that look like? What would that feel like to be that authority in your space, where your family and friends are constantly coming to you because they understand that you know the market, that you will deliver because they've seen you. They have social proof. They've seen how you delivered keys to your clients. They've seen how you've delivered the sold sign for for the sellers. So don't be a secret agent. Shameless self-promotion. Have zero shame for what you love to do. If you fail to do so, they may end up with an agent that's just looking for the quick dollar. And there's a lot of them out there. They have their full-time jobs. They can't give the level of service that you can give. So don't be a secret agent, which means you got to meet more people. You got to expand your database. So don't do things that'll put you out there. Attend public events, attend social events, networking events, church groups, clubs, kids sports, right? Which means talk to people. Let them get to know you. Connect with people on social media. So again, principle number 3, don't be a secret agent. These are all things that have really just built my business. Because 1, I've learned to burn the ships, right? I've committed to my practice. I don't have 1 foot in, 1 foot out. I decided to do the work every single day, realizing that sometimes the work sucks. 3, I'm not just going to sit back and just not put out there what type of impact we can have on others. I'm shameless about self-promotion, about what we do here at Ease & Associates. You must come in with the same mindset. You know what kind of impact you can make. Showcase it. Show the social proof. Have your clients talk about you. Put them on video. Ask them the right questions. Number 4, I think this is very important. Number 4 is set targets. We do this on a consistent basis, right? We got to know what we want. What does a win equate to? What does a win look like? We do this every 12 weeks, like clockwork. We have a sales meeting here coming up this Thursday for that same reason. We're going to recalibrate and recommit to envision, to paint a picture of what it is that we want every 12 weeks. Now, it's your job to reinforce that on a daily basis, weekly basis, and monthly basis. What does a win look like today? And it comes down to realizing what the main focus is today. What are your 5 targets you plan on achieving today? And it could be simple things. It could be adding 10 people to your database. It could be texting 5 people, sending 1 email, doing a live for your Facebook group, where maybe you have a mindset mastery every Monday for your clients, for your small group. Listen, you don't need permission. You just need to make a decision. I know some of you are on that cusp of wanting to put more of yourself out there. What's holding you back? What does that look like? Setting targets is very important to realize if you're winning or not. So let's set those targets today. What are the 5 things you're going to do today? Simple things. Not build an entire database in one day. No, just adding 5 people into your database today. Making a decision on what autoresponder system you're going to use. Sending 1 simple email. And then learn to check off those boxes. It makes you feel good. It reinforces good behavior. But if you're constantly in this place of, I don't have what I want, maybe ask yourself, what is it that I want? More money is not specific enough. A certain amount of money by the end of 12 weeks is very specific. So setting these targets is important. And that's what's grown your business. Everyone who's grown their business this year has been very clear about what they want to accomplish. So continue to reinforce that every 12 weeks and daily, weekly, leading up to those 12 weeks. It's amazing what you can create. We're having unbelievable success. The numbers that I see in this 3rd quarter are just unbelievable, but not surprising. Because when you commit to your craft, when you know exactly what you want, and you take the necessary actions, unbelievable results become a way of life. So just see yourself in that place. So again, principle number 4 is to set those targets. What is it that you want? And what does a win constitute? What does it look like? What does it feel like? I'm winning every single day. I won today for my body. I worked out hard. I took my vitamins. I'm winning today for my mind. I read an audiobook on how to extend my life in a healthy way, my lifespan. Like, these are the things that I'm learning. It's not just about business. It's about being good in all aspects of my life. I want to know how to live a healthier life, a prolonged life. I'm in this for the long haul. And I want to be strong and powerful and committed the entire way. So I got to learn, what else can I take? What other supplements can I take? How else can I challenge my body? I want to live a long life, a healthy life. So that's what I'm learning about. So I'm winning. I'm winning there of learning. I'm also winning in my family. I took my girls to school, told them how much I love them. I had a conversation with them. Those are all winning. Guess what happens over time, over 12 weeks, over a year, over 5 years? You build a life that's unrecognizable. Win the day. Principle number 5, and I love this one. Turn ideas into actions. And I just talked about this. Never stop learning. So you turn ideas into actions. Every one of us has a little voice that speaks to us on a consistent basis. It tells us what to do next. It always we have like this internal voice just constantly just speaking to us. Hey, you should make this phone call. Hey, this would be a great idea if you did this. This would be a great video. You should call this person. But then there's another voice, the rational voice, that tells you, no, it's not a good time. I don't want to bother them. This, I called them the last time and they didn't answer their phone. Understand that if you're able just to execute on what's up here, you're always going to be right. There's always a lesson to be learned, whether it's the lesson you think you should learn or not, or the actions or the result you think you should have or not. There is something that you will learn. Your job is just to listen to that internal voice and execute. My life has completely changed when I stopped hesitating, when I stopped overthinking. I'm a rational thinker by heart, but I've learned to just pull the trigger because I've put in the reps. I understand that whether win, lose, or fail, there's always a lesson for me to learn. It's going to build my capacity, and it's going to steer me in the right direction. We have to face these pains in order to make the right turn. So if you execute on the thoughts that are going on, so today I just want you to simply think about that. As you're going through your processes of sending out 5 text messages, setting up your open houses for this weekend, making those phone calls, if there's an idea that pops into your mind, I want you to write it down and execute. You'll be surprised how much you can actually accomplish by just taking that additional step. And that is the main difference between those that have it and those that struggle to get it. Those that have it, regardless of the outcome, they execute. If they feel it in their heart, if they're feeling it in their soul, and it's the voice speaking to them, they pull the trigger. I'm not saying dive into every situation head first. What I'm saying is you have enough experiences to back you to understand if it's a good idea or not to overthink it or over-rationalize it, only to let that idea dissipate into oblivion. If you can just execute on the ideas you have today, you will be farther along than you've imagined. Execute. We all have those great ideas. Don't hold off for later. I've been around a lot of millionaires, and man, can they move. They take an idea and they put it to action. My problem was I had an idea. I would ask for other people's opinions. I would think about it. I would sleep on it. And then I would do nothing about it. While those other individuals, idea, execution, where do you think they're going to be? You're going to see the big gap between the successes. We all have that within us. You don't need additional permission. Make those mistakes. That's what the game is all about. You're going to learn something. Win, lose, or fail. You're going to learn something. Your job is just to execute. So those are the 5 principles for personal and business success that, I thought about over the weekend. And I think if we could just take that into, take possession of these 5 principles and just add them to your life, I think you'll see a bigger vision for yourself. That's all we really need. Is for someone to paint the possibility of what we could actually create. So again, I'm just going to run down through these, and then I want some feedback. What principle is the best for you? What principle is the most important for you? For me, they were all in no particular order, but I think they're just as important. So number 5 was turn your ideas into actions. Never stop learning. Feed your mind good things. Execute when that idea pops. Number 4, set targets. We're religious about that here. Set the targets and then execute on them. 3, don't be a secret agent. Have zero shame for loving what you do. That's how we roll around here, right? People, you probably got compliments. I love what you're doing on social media. I love the communication. I love that you're always out there and positive. Number 2, do the work. We understand that the work sucks. It's monotonous, repetitious. But that's where we have to harness the love for it. That boredom pays off. Repetition pays off. Number 1, commit to your practice. Don't have one foot in and one foot out. Go all in. What is it that you want from your marriage? Hey, if divorce is the, if that's what you want, then go for it. Do the other person a favor. You can't keep the other person in a loveless marriage where you're treating them disrespectfully, or vice versa. Or maybe you just need to recommit and show your genuine love and appreciation for the other person. Whichever it is, but you can't live in this place of indecision. Like you can't do that same thing for your business. You either hate it, get out, or understand there's going to be parts of it that you hate and go all the way in. So what are you guys hearing in this conversation? Again, good morning. We got Maria, Susan, what's going on? Claudia, Jason Smith, what's up? My brother, how you doing? Dallas, good morning. Rosie, obscurity is the number 1 killer for all businesses. Right? Obscurity. Who knows who you are? Who knows what you love to do? The competition is tough. They're promoting like crazy. So you're either going to go all in and do double what they are doing, or good luck with trying to grow a business. This is fire. Thanks, Dallas. Nick, good morning. All right, guys, I'm fired up today. So rewatch this. Write down the 5 principles for personal and business success, and let's get after it. You are the master of your own destiny. That is the first quote. I want to tell you something. That is the first quote I ever wrote. And I was probably 12 years old, and I remember putting this on top of my door leading out of my bedroom. I am the master of my own destiny. And I didn't know about self-development. I didn't know that there was a bigger future than the environment I was in. I didn't even know who Tony Robbins was. I didn't know that this whole self-development even existed. I was like 12 years old. And I just saw a quote, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. And I put it in my inkjet printer. I typed it up on probably word processor or something like that, and printed it up and put it right on my door. I am the master of my own destiny. And it comes with mastering who you are, being aware of who you are, and understanding that this life is short. And yes, I'm doing some research on how to, live longer, more healthier, right? Because I love it. I genuinely love life. I love the challenges. I love the pains. And I want to live it as much as possible and as successful as possible. We all have this ability. We got to love what we do, even the ugliness of it, because we're alive to feel it. And we're the masters of our own destiny. I don't want to live in regrets. I don't. So let's do all things at a high level. That means you're going to have to better yourself on a consistent basis. Dallas, all 5 speak to me. Number 4 is what I am going to focus on moving forward. Having detailed targets is very crucial. Number 5, I feel like, is my greatest attribute. But I didn't realize it was a good thing until I listened to this morning. Dallas, you've done a lot. You're putting yourself out there because you have a genuine love of what you do. And it's amazing, man. Your future is bright. But setting targets and then turning those ideas into actions and never stop learning, those are crucial. And you're constantly leaning in. Jason, I want you agents to know from where I stand and what I've seen in this industry, you all excel because you work from a place of integrity. From what I have seen and encountered, integrity is a key component. So then there are the next big steps, but take little steps in consistently, doing the work. Figure out what your why is and the reasons you do the line of work, and then work hard at a relentless pace, which will pay off in the long run, and it will give you everything you need to get your why. AZ and I were not handed anything. We both started this from a humble beginning, so any of you can take it much bigger, much higher level by putting in the daily small reps. And Jason's a leader in his craft, a leader in his industry. And for him to have that humbleness about himself, not showcasing about how he has it all figured out, but just showcasing that life is good. Life is good, and it can get better every time we lean in and do the work. And it's been a great relationship for us just having you here, Jason, just because you operate from that place of integrity. And I think that's what makes us very unique, right? We're all here because we want to better ourselves. We know there's bigger and better things for us, that we can become better and bigger, right? And having that around us really fuels that fire. Having the people with the same mindset. And like I said, this is a very unique place, and I need you to really understand and embrace that. Like, take yourself out. Go out and go with different groups of agents, and you'll realize how surface level some of these conversations are. We're about bettering every aspect of our lives. Rudy, KISS. Keep it simple, don't ever overcomplicate it. Get it done. Such a key principle, right, to anything that we do. Carmela, idea. Execute the idea. Execute. That's the difference in those who succeed and those who just want to succeed. And Carmela, you've shown that. Having that always within you. And now it's just like, you know what? I'm just going to lean into what I know. You've had a killer quarter. You've actually created in this quarter what took you almost a year last year. Those are amazing outcomes. But you had to trust yourself. And I promise you, you lived in these 5 principles the entire time, during that time. And it's such an amazing thing when we see these big results of it just being a simple dream or a wish, and then it becomes a reality. It's like, wow, I became that person. 3 months ago, I wasn't good enough to be that person. A year ago, I wasn't good enough. But now I have it. That dream, I am now that person. And it's amazing. And it's leaning in, doing the work, and being shameless about it. Guys, I want to thank you for all the feedback. Sorry I butchered your write-up there, Jason. But I do want to thank everyone here for joining me for another episode of Mindset Mastery. This Thursday, we are having our 3rd quarter review. Today's the last day you can actually register for that. So if you haven't done so, please do so now. We have a great meeting set up to really harness everything that we've learned this year and put it for maximum results moving into the end of the year and the beginning of the 1st quarter of 2020. I want to thank you again, and we will talk to you soon.